So I want to make a video there. I'm in court there now next week. My ex had to bring me to court at the place her third safety order. I don't speak to this person, I don't email her, we don't swap text messages. The last time she sent a text message was the 11th of September 2023, which was 2 days before my daughter's birthday, first birthday. She tried to start an argument basically. I didn't engage. I basically politely told her to fuck off, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I don't have any contact with this person. And she went in, she went in on my daughter's birthday, and 2 days later, and lodged her kind of safety order. Now, the one prior to that was lodged on my mother-in-law's birthday. It was actually served on my mother-in-law at her home address, addressed to me, my name on it. Hadn't got their address on it. Gar was just trying to store up shit. Served it on my mother-in-law. And so I'm in court next week, which is the day after my father's anniversary, the anniversary of his passing. And this is the kind of stuff that goes on. Like, there's a huge list of this, and I don't want to go into all of this kind of stuff there now. And she's going to go into court. She's going to say that I'm either kind of slandering her or some kind of threat. I don't really know what she's going to say, but at the end of the day, there's no safety concern. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't ring this person. I don't email this person. The only concern is that I'm shown messages and shown documentation that shows this person is a liar, basically. And Tusla has backed this person. Do you know what I mean? So they're basically trying to cover up her actions, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, but that's what's going on. And that'll give you an idea, like, the fact that she goes in at all these times and lodges these. And this is my third time going up for maintenance as well. I never missed a week's maintenance ever since I think it was lodged in 2016. Never missed a week's maintenance. But yet she can abuse the court system and drag me through the courts simply because of her gender. But I followed the correct procedure with this person, and I went through the courts, and I went through hell with the courts. If I'm being honest, a year and a half I went through hell, and she just breached the orders, left at me inside the court. As I said in previous messages, she was ordered to give me back photographs of my father who had passed away, and she didn't even do that. Even that small little thing was to give back photographs of my father. Like, she couldn't even do that. But what happened then was the case behind me back. My solicitor tried to transfer my case up to Dublin, and I found out about this because the judge in Waterford refused the case. Now, I didn't know anything about this. I got a letter in the door one day saying that my case was after being refused to be sent to Dublin. Now, and that I was apparently after requesting this, and I went into the solicitor, and at the time I didn't know this solicitor. And at the time I didn't know this solicitor, I was playing both sides. I found out afterwards she was. And I was at the putting two and two together, and I was at the catching her winking at me ex. I caught her coming out of a consultation room with me ex early one morning. There's a load of stuff with this solicitor. She got caught red-handed, and they tried to transfer my case up to Dublin. And the judge refused it. But they went in behind me back and tried to make it look like that I was trying to push for the case to be sent to Dublin. Obviously, I wasn't. Eventually, then I was awarded the case. I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty of the case because, like, you won't believe the stuff, because I've been trying to explain this. And you have a kind of a Tusla employee, a psychologist, who's basically kind of like orchestrating all of this stuff. And she was clever enough to involve members of Sinn Féin and members of the government, because basically I have to go through all of that to try and get this story out. And that's essentially what's going on. And they're trying to gaslight my mental health, trying to make me look like fucking everything and that. And we all know the sexual slander around my name and all this kind of stuff. This is the same stuff, remember, that was onto that guard in McCabe when he kind of whistle blew on the guards. And it was done by two members of Tusla to this person as well. And now I'm claiming it's done by another member of Tusla. So it's not a once-off incident. And I unfortunately got mixed up in this religion with my ex and the kids by this psychologist employed by Waterford Tusla, and her unethical dealings of this whole kind of like religion thing I had an issue with, and I left because I basically deemed it a cult. They tried to lock us in a school down Kilkenny. It was supposed to be kids' day out. They wouldn't let the kids make pizza. They brought the kids off to make pizza. Wouldn't let them make the pizza unless they chanted this prayer repeatedly. It was like a glorified cult, and I know this probably makes me sound fucking mad talking about it, but it is. But it was being promoted by the HSC. Look, see the HSC? And see the logo, the oak. Now, my ex sent me down a letter in 2021 addressed to me that my daughter wrote to me, and she got the child to draw this letter. It's on previous videos, and I don't want to be going through all the paperwork. But it goes to show you that this had some kind of an issue that she had my daughter like draw this in 2021. So it's obviously something to do with this. Like the HSE, our healthcare system, should not be promoting any religion. And if they are promoting a religion, let's just say for understanding, they should be promoting all religions. Do you know what I mean? In the interest of fairness, do you know what I mean? But they're not. They decided to promote this months after I started talking about this person being involved in a cult, and that she was using the HSE to try and like spread this kind of stuff. Her and her husband was teaching psychology. He was actually my psychology teacher out in Tramore, and he was inviting kind of students up to his house. This is a fact. But I want to talk about this whole religion. This woman's name is Anne Carey. She's employed by Waterford Tussle. Her husband's name is Pat Carey, out in Tramore. I won't give the address for I won't bother giving the address for the sake of it. But this woman had previous contact, right? There was a case, there was allegations of the daughter of an employee of Waterford Tussle supposed to be behaving inappropriately with a minor. And there was allegations around this. And I was asked to sit in to an interview basically in Arkeen Hospital with the minor as a witness, as a kind of support witness. I didn't witness that, I was just a support witness for the minor. And we were driven out there by James Kennedy, who's a Waterford employee of Tussle again. And this can all be checked. All of this stuff can be checked now, what I'm saying, right? And the meeting took place out in Arkeen Hospital, which is the hospital out in Waterford. I assumed there was a female Garda, given the gravity of the situation. Like I assumed there was a kind of female Garda. And as I said, I wasn't speaking around. I was just there as a support witness. And after this meeting, then I inquired of James Kennedy what was the Garda's next approach, and he told me that she wasn't a Garda, that she was a psychologist employed by Tussle, and she had decided to keep it internal, that she's not going to involve the Gardas in it. That's what I was told by James Kennedy. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, I found out then on the day, because she was reading out the dates of this kind of stuff, and I realised that the dates, there was 7 weeks difference. So I was asking, why are you only looking into it now? It's 7 weeks old. Do you know what I mean? And they said there was an issue with getting staff or something along the lines of that. So you have a Tussle employee investigating the supposed actions of another Tussle employee. Do you know what I mean? And she kept the guards out of it and basically covered the arse of Tussle. And in return now Tussle is covering the arse of this person. Well, that psychologist later on turned out to be Anne Carey. This is the woman now that roped myself, my wife and my ex. 10 years after that, she roped us into this religion. I just thought I recognised her and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then eventually she turned up my father's funeral, basically trying to fuck with my head. My ex brought her. And I realised then who she was, because she was talking to the minor who was also at the funeral that I was just talking, that I was a witness for. So I realised then who she was. So this shit absolutely hit the fan. And this woman is from Kerry. I want to say one or two things there now, just to show that I was in this religion and I know of this person, right? This person is from Kerry. She's from Kerry. Her family in Kerry doesn't speak to this woman because they believe that she's involved in a cult. What was the cult? The Baha'i faith. This is the same faith that I'm saying, right? My ex tried to push this religion on my mother. My mother would have been a practicing Catholic, and she was having none of it, and she told her where to go with her kind of new beginning. That's the name of this Baha'i religion, their Bible kind of. And she told her where to put she basically told her in certain terms where to go. And so my ex went back and told this crowd, because I was only in this now, I'm being honest, because my ex was threatening to take the kids back to Ballymun. Every time we'd break up or have an argument, if I didn't get back with her, she was going to take the kids back to Ballymun. And this was an ongoing thing. I had moved out twice. She's trying to push in court that I won't let go of the relationship. I moved out twice. I physically moved out twice. I had a parenting agreement that she signed where I took the kids for 6 days a week. Like that alone should speak volume. And she signed that in 2014. And then there's another message which I have uploaded from 2017. And she's basically saying, if you drop everything in court, I can see the kids, you're such a great father, the kids' mission, all this. Now, this is in 2017. And then she appeared on this Two Norries podcast in 2022. And she spun her lies on that. The parenting agreement in 2014 supports the message that she sent in 2017. The message in 2017 supports the parenting agreement which she signed, giving me the kids 6 days a week. So it shows what she said on the Two Norries podcast is nothing but lies. And the safety issue that she's bringing me to court for in Dublin is basically, there's no safety concern. She only has concerns that her actions are going to be exposed. But anyway, yeah, that's who this Anne Carey person is. She's from Kerry. My ex kind of like, she manipulated me ex, if I'm being honest, some kind of mothering issues. I'm not going to get into all the details I could, but her friend was in this religion with us as well, and she kind of seen what I seen, and we seen it for what it was, that there was a cult, and I left it basically. But yeah, my ex told this woman then about approaching me mother with this Bible, and how my mother was like so against this kind of, my mother would have been kind of a staunch Catholic, if I'm being honest with you. So her husband approaches me and tells me that it's okay if my family are against this religion, that they were going to be my new family. And this was where he told me how Anne, his wife, was from Kerry, and her whole family turned their back on her because she's involved in this religion, and they think it's a cult as well, and it was okay if my mother was thinking like this. Now, I was only playing along with this, if I'm being honest with you. I was only going along because I didn't want the kids being taken back to Ballymun. We were living out in Tranmore. The quality of life out in Tranmore compared to the quality of life in Ballymun, like, it was just kind of greatly different. And I'm not kind of like fucking pissing all over the people of Ballymun. I'm sure there's loads of people, loads of nice people up in Ballymun. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the kids' quality of life out in Tranmore and the quality of life in Ballymun was kind of like hugely different, and they're surrounded by their friends. So plus the fact I had been around the kids, if I'm being honest, up to that point, so like, I wanted the kids to be around, if I'm being honest with you. So kind of, I done what I had to do, which is go along with this kind of bullshit religion. And me ex loved it. She was kind of portrayed as the next fucking messiah, if I'm being honest with you. That's the only way to describe this. Her friend seen it for what it was. She tried to advise her. I seen it for what it was. A number of people tried to advise her. Now she's still in this. Her and this twisted person is employed by fucking Tusla. Do you know what I mean? She's still employed by Tusla, this Anne Carey. There's no way in the world she should be employed by Tusla. She should be investigated. But if they look into her and they find what I'm after been saying is true, right? It would question every single case that this woman was ever involved in, would have to be kind of brought into question. So they're not going to. Do you know what I mean? Now they can easily just pull the file, go out and speak to James Kennedy. He's the social worker who drove us out there. Do you think I'd make all of this kind of stuff up? But yeah, as I said, her husband told me that it was okay if, like, basically that they were going to be my new family, and I was only going along with it, if I'm being honest. And I got to a stage then I left, and they tried for a couple of months to try and get me back and all this. I left after they tried to lock us in school in Kilkenny, basically. Supposed to be kids' day out. This is what they were saying. We went down there then, they said I wanted a day out. You're supposed to stay there the weekend. They said the kids were being brought off to make pizza. I just spoke about that. They wouldn't let the kids make the pizza unless they repeatedly chanted this prayer. But basically, you're not allowed to mix with your family. You're not allowed to mix with people outside. It was very kind of, very controlling, very manipulating. And this is what they believe. They believe in bringing people in. Don't bring them in pairs though. Bring them in like individuals. Like, I could say so much about this, and I'm not talking about like my opinion. Like, this is what I went through with this. Do you know what I mean? This is from fact. This is like my experience dealing with this crowd. And if you notice, ask around, you'll hear it about religion. Ask around how many people have left it that are around. There's no one around that has left the Baha'i religion. They engage in the same tactics that Scientologists use, which is kind of drip feeding sexual innuendo into your community, and then they gaslight your mental health. And there was a load of kind of like sexual pornography stuff spread around that was supposed to come from me. And basically, the hair clients of me ex spread this, and it was spread all through the members of Sinn Féin, through Waterford City Council, through Waterford Garda. And by the time they realised where it was after coming from, it was too late. They were after fucking spreading this all over Ireland. So now they have to try and so now they're trying to condone their actions, is what they're trying to do, because it did happen. There's loads of documentation. The Minister of Justice won't take the documentation. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's being covered up. Just like the shit up in Children's Group Link is being covered up. Because like it involves like certain people who have like political influence in Waterford. That should be irrelevant. Like, you have the Bill Keneally case there now recently. You have much the same thing, political influence, the Garda knowing about it, and the church knowing about it. Do you know what I mean? So what's changed? Yeah, so that's it. But there's loads of documentation. And I just wanted to address that, because I've been trying to address it. If you notice, I can't get a journalist, like, even to just like talk me through this. And my wife is going to, and kind of, I don't really want to kind of involve my wife with this stuff, if I'm being honest, as much as she kind of like wants to have her say. Like, Like, do you know what I mean? And what's happening there? My ex sent me a message the 11th of September there, and she basically said twice that the only person that are going to be hurt with this is my family. Do you know what I mean? So what it was, this is a veiled threat on my family, because my family are going through fucking hell. Every time I push this, they don't put it on me anymore because they can't fucking break me. They're putting it on my family, just like they put it on me mother. Do you know what I mean? When she was alive. And I've been speaking about Roisin Doherty and Leo Kennedy. These are both members of Waterford City Council, and they got caught searching my mother's bedroom, not realising that my mother was actually in the bed watching them. And this was covered up by Joe Daniels. Do you know what I mean? The veil is Sinn Féin, fucking, do you know what I mean? While they try and intimidate us into not fucking speaking the truth. Like, it's no coincidence, right, that the members of Sinn Féin that I'm talking about, do you know what I mean, all have all links with each other. And I'm not accusing all these like people of Sinn Féin, but there's a handful of people in Waterford that are engaged in the corruption of various organisations, state-funded organisations. It's the same handful of people. Do you know what I mean? Same members of the church covering for the same fucking families. The same families are involved with the same people in Waterford City Council. The same members of Waterford City Council are involved with the same like fucking TDs in Waterford. The same TDs are involved with the same corrupt guards in Waterford. The same corrupt guards are involved with local criminals. Do you know what I mean? They don't like me talking about this, and they need to kind of fucking like discredit me and gaslight me and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that. And this woman, at the very beginning of all of this, like I've said so many things, you think they would try and clarify even some of it, but they won't. But at the very beginning of all this is Anne Carey. And she's employed by our HSC. She's a doctor. Her own husband told me this. This is from her husband told me that she treats everybody's life like it's a game of chess. That she's the most devious woman alive. That's what her own husband told me. Do you know what I mean? Thinking that I was kind of like so far into this religion, but as I said, I was only kind of going along with it just to kind of keep me ex happy. So, like, they can easily just pull the paperwork, and if I'm deemed to be lying, right, at the very beginning of this, don't look into any of the rest of it. But if I'm deemed to be telling the truth with that, then look into the next bit. And if I'm deemed to be telling the truth with that, then look into the next bit. And I think that's fair. That I should be entitled to make a complaint and have it fully fucking like investigated without political influence. Do you know what I mean? There's no due process. You have all that stuff up in children's group, like 20 years, 2 decades. That's on the verge of coming out for 2 decades. And now you have like current members of TDs mixing with past members of fucking like TDs. And that's a ticking time bomb. Do you know what I mean? And everyone thinks it's to protect that one individual who got caught. It's not about the one individual who got caught. It's also about the people who covered for that one individual. And there's multiple people all knew what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that they had him up there only a couple of weeks ago, parking his car across the road in the fucking supermarket amongst the other cars, thinking that it wouldn't be noticed. That's done to discredit the girls that have came forward. But it speaks volumes about the staff that they allow someone like that around the girls again. Even you can say, oh, well, there wasn't enough evidence. Well, even so, right, they know that there was multiple allegations. They know that there's an outstanding case. They knowingly put him around the same demographic of girls again. But as I said, I'm going into this court down next week. I'm sure I'm probably walking into a dodgy situation. Let's be honest with it. We'll see though. I don't want to jump the gun. We'll see. At the end of the day, there's no safety issue. There's no safety concern. I don't ring this person. I don't text this person. In fact, she's been ringing me. The last contact I had with this person before her message was actually in 2019, where she brought the kids down so I can get the kids measured for their bridesmaid dresses. And as soon as I bought the dresses, then she withdrew the kids at my wedding. So that was the last time, and after that, then I cut her off after that 2019. I won't answer the phone, I won't answer a message, and I answered one message there a couple of weeks ago, and as I said, it was a veiled threat from her. So, I don't know, we'll see where it goes from here, but the Minister of Justice would want to clarify whether or not I'm lying about certain aspects, because it affects, like, multiple fucking people. Stop protecting the political corruption and the political cronyism which is fucking rampant in Ireland, do you know what I mean? And realistically it's like holding the country back. Like, what's after changing from the brown envelope brigade of the fucking Celtic Tiger? Realistically, there's not really after changing, do you know what I mean? They're just more adept, let's be honest about it. So I'm going to leave it there, and yeah, I suppose I'll make a video at some stage. Thanks. Bye.